Hello everyone, I'm CM Dragonlark, and this is the Rose Online 2016-2017 Winter Q&A. We opted to do a video this time instead of a live stream to get your answers to you as quickly and as efficiently as possible. I have forwarded your questions to the Rose team, and Genesis has sent back some excellent replies. Some of the questions will be answered in the same reply, and some of the questions have been altered slightly to fit within the frame of this video. There were also quite a few awesome suggestions we weren't able to get to within the confines of this video. However, the Rose team has been sent all your suggestions, and if you feel you would like to discuss any of your suggestions further, I would encourage you to create a thread in our suggestions forum on the official Warpro forums. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started answering some questions. Our first question is from Fuhr. When is the final class balancing going to take place that is now 3 years overdue? Dealers and soldiers never had their specific focus phase done and are now horribly off balance to the gameplay. Why was it decided to be more important to expand endgame content over fixing classes who can't even play the game right now? And this is the answer Genesis has sent us. These two questions tie into each other, so I'll answer them both at once. Class balancing is an ongoing development, and we are aware that there is always a desire to further balance and expand class dynamic and playstyles. The Paradigm Shift update was in development for close to 9 months, which focused most heavily on the PvP side of the game and class balancing, which resulted in some aspects of the game being neglected during that time. It is important that other facets of the game are given the opportunity to expand, and while PvP represents a sizable portion of Rose gameplay, it is not the only major facet of game. With that said though, we will be revisiting each class over the coming months to incrementally adjust and expand class skill trees where necessary, and look forward to reaching out to the community soon for fresh insight into where class playstyles can be further improved. Our next question is also by Fear. Has the Professions update finally been dropped? We are still planning towards the Professions system, which is likely to make it into development stages later this year. Due to there being some overlap with the Artisans crafting trees, migration towards Professions will be a gradual and multi-step process. This question is by Cortez. Are there any plans for the castle gear to be used for PvP or PvM in the future? While we would like to expand the PAT system into something more and offer unique content around each vehicle type, castle gear, PvP, siege game modes, kart racing tracks, etc., we have no immediate plans in place for this. This question is by Fear. How does the staff perceive the failure/success of the rune system and elemental system? Did it perform as expected, fall short, or exceed expectations, and why? Are there plans to address the imbalances in some of the runes, elements, and methods to obtain them? This is also from Genesis. I would like to think that overall the Paradigm Runes empowerment system and elemental scrolls have so far been meeting our expectations. There is a respectable number of Paradigm Rooms in the wild now that are maxed out, and many more in the high end of the grade spectrum, which falls in line with the effort we're looking into. There is also an acceptable distribution of each element type being worn in armors and weapons. As a long-term goal, we would like to expand the methods of obtaining runes, both new and existing, and materials into quests and open-world boss/rare monster drops. The empowerment system is currently used for endgame level runes, but we would like to see its use expanded to include progressional tier items, which provide an incremental boost in power while leveling your character. This question is from Bucky's. Quests. Will there be new ones? Because it's always the same as before. More quests are on the horizon. The upcoming Orlo update introduces an updated quest progression chain to guide you on your journey through the desert planet, and we have plans to follow up with additional quests to expand the quest offerings in Orlo as a whole throughout the year. We will also be revisiting lower leveled areas in the coming months to add quests that would benefit from them as means of improving the leveling experience. This question is also from Buffy's. Will you make anything about the big amount of Zhu Li the game has in-game? If I remember right, there was a plan. Is that plan still on? Due to the age and vastness of wealth in Rose's economy, it is likely that eliminating hyperinflation may prove to be an impossible task, but we are continuing to investigate the best course of action to take to counter hyperinflation of Zhu Li in the economy in as many areas as possible. And this is another question from Buffy's. Will you start advertising Rose? The means of advertising has changed in recent years due to updates in pricing and promotion of ad blocking programs. This is actually something we covered in the Dragon Saga QA livestream last month. New avenues of advertising are always being looked into. However, that's why our advertising methods have changed. And this is another question from Buffy's. Why not bring back Union War? Aquamarina is for the most part a direct successor to the previous Union War content. Both the environment and core objectives of Aquamarina are identical to its predecessor, with the exception that team composition is managed by the Game Arena queue, allowing for preformed groups where desired, and that games are formed on demand instead of being restricted to a specific time frame. The original Union War system itself was highly exploitable and flawed in many aspects, which the Game Arena has long since addressed. I would be interested in knowing more specifics on what aspect of the original system you feel is missing from Aquamarina so that we can improve the current experience where needed. And this is another question by Buffy's. You know botting is a huge problem. Why don't you make it so all monsters have the same spawn system as prison on the planet Eldion? Or increase bot police armies? The customer experience team and our volunteer and game moderators are always doing great work to identify and take action against persistent botnets. And we are always looking into new ways to streamline that process. From the game design side, past updates made to monster spawning behavior in areas such as Sukuku Underground Prison have shown to be effective in deterring botters, which we would like to see replicated in other botting hotspots in the future. We are also going to be looking into leveling experience as a whole in the coming months to encourage player engagement with content over botting to accomplish their goals. And this is a question by Hello Wars. I am happy with the fact that change has been accepted on a more core level of the game. I don't think we are done yet because while these do apply to every class and complexity, they are static for the most part. Elemental is completely static before battles, knowledge/guess. Runes are pretty much all before battle as well. Why don't we continue to change the core game mechanics, like forcing people to react to monster actions, or about to happen actions, or a system where we actually use in-combat logic to solve a problem? I love that gear means everything, and I could just sit and hit something most of the time, but wouldn't it be more fun to actually move around because I had to, or run around a monster to deal double damage at a certain time? I think sacrificing a lot of pretty stuff time is worth doing a major overhaul in a direction like that. What does the staff think? If yes, any plans? If no, what direction is the plan that if I can inquire? I am inclined to agree with the general sentiment here. There is much more work to be done in the areas of situational awareness and reactive gameplay mechanics in Rose. Gameplay features such as elements and runes aim to add more diversity to build styles, but primarily focus on the stat building aspect of gameplay more than augmenting active gameplay. Skill proc mechanics have shown to be promising in adding more reactive components to combat, and only scratch the surface of what could be added in the future. Sukuku Catacombs was our first attempt at incorporating more situational awareness mechanics to PvM, which have had mixed results, but have given us great insight into how these mechanics could be improved upon and adapted for other content. As we revisit each class in the coming months to expand and enhance build styles, this is something we may wish to gather more specific feedback on, so I would encourage eager community members to post their ideas on the forum so we have a point of reference for further discussion. This is another question by Hello Wars. If certain things can't be done because of staffing, I think a lot of ideas could be implemented for practically nothing. If War Portal is forcing cute stuff for money, don't we think we are at a point that it is time to get more players so that those costumes can actually earn more money? I guess going into that, is there a plan to try and get more players? And I touched on this a little bit earlier with the advertising question on trying to get new players in game. This is something the War Portal and Roast team are always looking into, ways to improve the game and player base by promoting through social media and Steam. It is worth noting here that the person who has created the costumes for Lucky Spins and the item mall is an artist on the War Portal team and not someone who works on updates to the game. So it doesn't really have an effect if we create more costumes. The person who is creating those costumes is not someone who is able to work on development. the development team doesn't create the costumes. This is a question by Cortez. What can we expect with the new Orlo update in terms of content? Perhaps the Rose team could share some more information or screenshots of what to expect. Is there a release date picked for the new Orlo update? We are really excited to share more details about the upcoming Orlo update. There are several new developments in store for Orlo, which include increasing the character level cap to 250, which unlocks additional skill and stat points to further customize and expand your character build, brand new level 225 class weapons and level 240 armor sets, an updated and expanded progression quest line that takes you on a journey through the planet, more convenient access to Desert City of Muris with return scrolls, a new Orlo map, the Fossil Sanctuary, Orlo monsters and quests rescaled to facilitate leveling for 200 to 250. Orlo as a whole has received significant visual and structural updates to bring a fresh experience to the desert planet, incorporating both old and new points of interest for you to discover, facilitates simpler traversal through the planet, and prepares Orlo for even more content updates throughout 2017. We're also excited to announce that Orlo update will be arriving later this month and that we'll have details on the exact launch date as soon as everything is finalized, so stay tuned. Next Monday for our Rose live stream, we will be showing some spoilers for content with the Orlo update. So if you want to tune in on twitch.tv/warportal or youtube.com/c/warportal/live next Monday at 11 a.m. PST, there will be a live stream event as well as some Orlo update spoilers. This is another question from Cortez. There has been talk about a pet system that would actually allow you to automatically pick loot or even buff. Is there something that is being worked on? A summonable pet that can loot items is a commonly requested feature that we would like to implement. However, we don't have an immediate time frame for when this could be worked on. Another question by Cortez. This question has also been asked already, but I will ask this again. Is there going to be a system that allows players to sell items to other players while being offline? We are still interested in implementing an auction house and or offline vending function. However, there is no timeline available for when these could be implemented. And this is a question by Firelight2. I was wondering if you thought about any kinds of achievements to put into Rose, like kill 100,000 spiders in dungeons or something of that form. In-game and Steam achievement support are definitely one of the more desirable features we would love to bring to Rose in the future. Achievements will be a great way to provide larger or long-term challenges with unique rewards for players to work towards that are otherwise not well suited to a quest, such as defeating every boss in the game within a time limit or obtaining an epic weapon, etc. And as a means of tracking progress through major milestones as your character progresses through the game content, obtaining first, second class, completing hero quest chapters, etc. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to in the future. This is by Tiliaxu. Will we ever see artisans rely on crafting skills on a battlefield, crafting, planting explosions, sentries, defusing explosions? Yes, we are planning to revisit our previous intentions this year to provide new supportive and combative abilities, which could be consumable items or summonable entities for artisans that take advantage of their crafting talents. We will also be reaching out to the community in the near future to gather feedback that will help to shape new gameplay styles for the artisan. And this is by Impadius. I was wondering if there will be any attention paid to leveling in order to make it more exciting and to motivate new players to start leveling and playing without help of a cleric, a lure, etc. Absolutely, we will be scheduling time in the first quarter of 2017 to review and improve the leveling experience, which is likely to involve adjustments being made to monster stats and abilities, which have been somewhat overlooked since the Paradigm Shift update, monster spawn placement and density, as well as EXP earned and required to level. This question is by Neg. Is it possible to redesign some class passive skills, such as Axe Fury, instead of melee hit being proc, make it skill proc, or both? I like to see that on other classes too, since attack speed got nerfed a lot. Starting in February, we will be scheduling time over the following few months to incrementally improve and expand skill trees of each class based on community feedback. I would like to recommend posting feedback and suggestions related to class skills in the proposals and suggestions section or feedback section of the Pegasus Development Labs, so that we have a point of reference once we start reaching out to the community for more specifics on where a skill build could be improved. This is a question by Black School 7. When will there be a new level? Like, when will the max level be 250? And we're going to be expanding the level cap to 250 with the Orlo content update, which will be arriving very soon. Another question by Black School 7. Will there be a small version of AA like 20 players? While there are no plans for Aquamarina specifically, we're looking into offering smaller scale PvP game modes in future that are suited for 1v1 through 3v3 team play. And this is another question by Black School 7. Will you make the dealer class better, because it really takes a lot of time and money and materials for them to craft, and most of it you find them in the market, and better that you can't craft, so these classes aren't right in the game at all. One of the goals we are planning towards with the profession system, and by extension the crafting system, is the introduction of harvesting nodes, which are interactive objects, trees, rocks, plants, etc., scattered throughout the world and that will yield different types of materials when interacted with. We hope that harvesting nodes will allow crafters to explore the environment to collect materials as an alternative to fighting monsters. This is another question by Black School 7. When are the reset skill and stats going to come back again? Because we kind of need them back so badly. Skill and stat resets are always available from our item mall and are regularly traded in the open market by other players for Zhu Li. Skill and stat retraining abilities are usually provided when an update is released that significantly changes class builds. Another question by Black Skull 7. Will there be a new planet in the patch for the new max level? There are no short-term plans for a new planet while we focus our efforts on expanding the content available in Planet Orlo. We feel that there are many other aspects of Rose that would benefit from being expanded first before introducing new planets. As a smaller team, developing Karkia will require a large time investment to move from concept to completion, and is going to be a big challenge for us to tackle in the short term. And here we have our last question by a Steam user. When is AA going to be fixed? Unfortunately, we can't give a time frame on when this issue will be resolved. We have been investigating for a while now to find the cause of the mass disconnections in Aquamarina and other affected areas. We believe that there is a bug in the combat systems networking code that is causing packet corruption, which leads to players getting disconnected, and that the issue most frequently occurs in scenarios with a lot of combat activity, especially true in the larger game arena games. Finding that bug is proving to be troublesome, however. Coupled with other scheduling commitments that cannot be avoided, there is a limit to how much time can be dedicated to investigating the issue in a given week. We can only apologize for the length of time it has taken to resolve this issue, but know that due to its disruptive nature, it is a high priority issue and is being worked on whenever our scheduling constraints allow for it. All right, thank you for everyone who submitted questions, who joined us for the video. We hope you guys received your answers. If you have any other questions, please join us on the forums, on the official Warp Portal forums. Send your questions there or on Facebook, or you can even send a ticket into our support team. We hope you have a great rest of your month, and we look forward to sharing more information with you guys soon.